Yesterday's the past, tomorrow's the future, but today's a gift. That's why it's called the present. Hi, my name is Arman, and I would like to share with you my experience here at MSF and how it has shaped me to become the person I am today. I chose this quote by Bill King to show that we're always thinking ahead and focusing on the future. Here at the school, I've realized how much I do it and how if I'm always going to be living life for the future, what's the point of living today? Because that's all I can do. Though I've started to learn and realize this more, I didn't always know what I do now. Through the passion that I have discovered here, like musical theater, law, and politics, I would always wonder how I could pursue it later on in my life, and it was my main focus for so long. I would spend a lot of time looking at different colleges and checking their acceptance rates to see what chance I had of getting in, when I hadn't even graduated from the elementary yet. I was so worried about failing and wondered what my life would be if I did, but I finally realized something that took me a long time to realize. It's that failing isn't such a bad thing. The bad part is if you don't get up. You have to learn from it and embrace it, or you don't have anything left. This quote by O.G. Medina taught me something valuable. Failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough. As humans, we sometimes tend to think ahead and focus on failing on the future, when the only thing we should focus on is the present and living life and enjoying life every second of every day. During my 8 years here at the school, I've learned so much, not just academically, but also mentally and emotionally. I've learned how to deal with and express my emotions. I've become a much stronger person here and built a much stronger personality. I would have been a completely different person if I weren't exposed to this unique environment, and I'm thankful for almost everything it has done to make me the person I am today. In the 5th grade, I encountered some hardships and struggles. I felt that it was hard for me to make friends, mostly because it was a small school with very few people I could relate to. I also felt like sometimes I was particularly excluded and singled out for just being me. Though there were hardships, I am proud of myself for getting through them. I overcame them by not letting what other people would say or do control me, though I'm still working on that, and with the help of some of my family. My sister Nithya and my cousin Kavya really helped, whether it was just eating lunch with me or hanging out with me at recess. Though we fight a lot, as most siblings and cousins do, they were always there when I needed them. I guess you never really appreciate someone until you need them. Besides these experiences, there were also quite a few good ones too. Through these hardships, I learned that what they say. Always try to find the positive in every situation, no matter what it is. One of the good learning experiences here at MSF was the Day of Honor. I never really understood the point of Day of Honor until this year, when I chose to be Anthony Bourdain. I finally chose someone who I could relate to. I related to him in many ways, like his passion for cooking and traveling, but also sometimes his feelings for loneliness. Day of Honor didn't just teach me how to write a speech, but it also gave me a different perspective. It helped show me that I'm not the only person in the world who has troubles, and also that there are other people in the world who are like me and who can understand me. It is an event that I will miss and something that I'll look back on in the future. The Montessori environment and the concept of learning independently really made quite an impact on me. I've learned and discovered so many things in this unique setting. It opens up my eyes and mind to a world of endless possibilities. I've also discovered one of my biggest passions here, which is musical theater and singing. During this period, especially during my upper elementary years, I've become more environmentally conscious and more aware of systemic racism and sexism. I helped organize trash pickups with a few other kids in my class. Though it was sad, it really helped get across the concept that one person can make a difference. What one person does makes an impact on the rest of us, whether that impact is good or bad. It also helped show me that we all have to start somewhere. It just starts with one. I looked into and researched how much race and ethnicity affects financial welfare, jobs, and so much more. I went on women's and civil rights marches and protests in Oakland and San Francisco, fighting for equal rights for all. I also became more interested in the political structure and the economy of this country. I feel that we need to be educated on all these factors much more than we do before, especially with all these horrible things happening in our world today. Within a month of writing this speech, there were 4 terrible and extremely fatal mass shootings and bomb blasts happening in our world. Though we can't do much about things like this, we can do something and we all have a voice. When there was the Parkland school shooting, we asked the school to go out in the parking lot with signs demanding for gun control and justice. We were able to do something powerful, not just with one, but with all of us. I won't lie. I'm looking forward to the next. I'm looking forward to the next chapter of my life, but I will miss the school and will remember everything that I've learned here. I'm so grateful and will remember how lucky I was to even go to a school like this, when there's so many people in this world who are fighting so hard just to get an education. I'm thankful for all my teachers, Mr. Aries, Mrs. Franza, and Miss Amanda, for providing me the gift of knowledge and always believing in me. I will always remember what you have taught me. I am also very thankful for Miss Spooner. Though she is not here, I would have never been introduced to Ragazzi, my course. If it wasn't for her, I would have been on a very different path than what I am now, and my whole future could have been very different from what it seems like now. I'm especially thankful for all my parents, for my parents.
Oh my goodness.
Especially thankful for my parents for providing me with everything to make sure I could have the best possible life. I wish the best of luck for all of us graduating today and hope that everyone enjoys the path they choose to take in life. But all of us have ups and downs in our lives. The most important thing is that we're all here, alive, healthy, and ready for the next step. I would like to end my speech with something that Maya Angelou once said. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed my speech.